Hey friends, in my previous video, we generated this list of bookish bucket list items. These are all of the items that I want to check off in side quest season, the final 5 months this year because I finished my reading goal in July. Today we're going to be tackling item number 1, read an intimidating book. Now Bella, what do you mean by intimidating? I'm not talking horror. I'm talking books that are going to destroy me. Emotionally, mentally, I will leave the reading experience fundamentally changed, forever altered. I actually have several on my radar that I've been avoiding because I'm intimidated by them. And today we're gonna dive into the not at all unpleasant experience of reading one of these. But which one? So we have several options. I've brainstormed a list. First on the list is a book that was once popular and loved, but is now becoming a little bit infamous, I think, on the internet. I've seen a lot of negative feedback lately, but it's A Little Life. Yeah. That cover doesn't warn you that you're gonna experience pain. I don't know what else will. All I know about this book is that it follows a group of friends and it will leave you distraught, devastated, having a mental breakdown. What more can you ask for? Option number 2, Haunting Adeline. Now this is an infamous book. This is a dark fantasy. All I know about it is that there is stalking and there's a scene with and I can hear you. Why don't you just avoid that? That sounds terrible. Well, I have a morbid curiosity, and it must be satiated. Third on the list, The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This is one that I am actually more looking forward to reading than the first two. I'm just intimidated by this book because it has like 20 POVs from what I hear. That's a lot of people to keep track of. That's a lot of moving parts to like put together and convey one story. I know Brandon Sanderson is like the king of fantasy, but I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know if I trust him that much. I read Mistborn. I liked it. I finished the series. It was a good time, but I just don't know. Number 4 is going to be The Nightingale. This is one that I know is going to make me think about my own mortality and that of my loved ones, and it's going to crush my soul and devastate me and make me bawl my eyes out. I read the first couple chapters and I could see that coming, so I put it down. But everybody loves Kristen Hanna, and I know that I need to just give it a shot. I just need to get through it, and I'm probably going to love it. It's just, I'm gonna be so honest. Sometimes if I read something that is like too stressful or dark, I get panic attacks and can't sleep. So fingers crossed that it won't do that to me. If it does, I will stop reading it. Don't worry. I'm not gonna sacrifice my health for this channel. I don't like you guys that much. Sorry. Okay. And finally, number 5. I just found out about this book. I was recommended this book by 2 people recently. They said it's one of the best books they've ever read. It's Name of the Wind. And you might think, wow, what's intimidating about that? What's intimidating about this book is that it is an incomplete series. There are 2 books, and there hasn't been another one for like 20 years or something like that. Apparently there's like a whole Reddit chain where they're just like, wow, you're writing all these other books, but you're not putting out a new one in the Name of the Wind series. So I guess I'm gonna have to jump on the hate train if I read this, but my mom said this is one of her all-time favorite books, and a random guy that I met at a volunteering event said this is one of his favorite books of all time. So I kind of just feel like I need the experience. So in some way or another, I feel that all of these options have the potential to permanently scar me. Let's spin a wheel and decide which one it's gonna be. The screen is a little bit grubby. That's because I put my grubby little fingers on it all the time, and I have not cleaned it in like a year. Okay, let's spin. Let's go! Name of the Wind has been chosen! I'm honestly really happy about this because I didn't want the emotional trauma from the other books, at least not in this season of my life. But this one I'm really excited about because the worst outcome is I'm just mad at the author because they've deprived me of gold. Or I'll hate it. We'll see. How exciting! Okay, I'm really looking forward to this. I was gonna go to the bookstore and get it, but by the time I get there, they're gonna be closed. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start with the audiobook because I have access to that for free with my library app. Also, before I get into it, I did just check, and the first book was released in 2007, and the second book was released in 2011. So it's been quite a few years. You know what? If you look at it like this, if the author leaves it open-ended, I can write the fan fiction and end it however I want. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared. I'm still only on chapter 1, but I'm really enjoying the writing style so far. It's got that like classic fantasy feel. It feels like it was written a long time ago, and it's kind of nostalgic, but I'm liking the setup so far. I've got a family event coming up soon, and we have not seen these people since Christmas, so I have some Christmas gift books to give away, and I'm gonna be making them into blind dates of the book because that's cutesy and fun. So I'm just gonna wrap them and keep listening, and I'm going to give you a little montage, I guess. Okay, I just made it to chapter 2, and I finished my first blind date with a book! I think it's pretty cute. I'm gonna go in and write a little description there. I just can't do words while I'm also listening to a book. But yeah, this is my favorite tea, magnetic bookmark. They are a game changer if you've never tried them before, and then some matcha. I wanted to have a decaf option and then a caffeinated option because you can't read without a little beverage. It's just, you don't do that. I hope that they like it. I'm gonna do the other two now. This is Poltergeist, by the way. I'll have to do a video where I introduce all my little guys. But this is my little guy, Poltergeist. When I first got him, he had a bunch of rocks inside of his enclosure, and he would knock them around in the middle of the night, and I literally thought there was an intruder or a ghost. So, very fitting name for a little guy. He's a perfect little man. It's been a couple days, and I did end up getting the paperback because it's so good. Believe it or not, the people that said, hey, this is the best thing I've ever read, they weren't kidding. Another thing I'm really noticing about this book is that it builds and releases tension expertly, and it does it over and over again. There are so many moments where you're like, oh, that hurts me in my chest, and then later on in the story, maybe there's revenge or something else, like something that takes it full circle and gives you satisfaction. There are so many little satisfying moments in this book, also painful moments, but it's just like really interesting, and I'm gonna be like taking notes on this style for when I write a book. Kind of having the time of my life right now. I've got my little journal for ideas, and I've got my book for entertainment and the ocean. Initial thoughts immediately upon finishing. That's it. I don't have words. I don't even think I have a full understanding of how much it's going to suck to not have a book 3. But what I do know is that I'm about to go to the bookstore and get book 2. I'm literally so wrapped up in this, I didn't even realize my ring light is totally in your face right now. Summarizing this is a little bit difficult for me because I still don't have the full story. Like, this is a very small part of the story in the grand scheme of things, which is intimidating. This is the first part of Kvothe's story. He leads an insane life, and it's the first part of that, and that's really all you need to know. I've been so fortunate this year to read so many books that were just incredible for me, have made it onto my top 10 books ever, favorite books. I'm gonna go ahead and just say this is my new favorite fantasy book of all time. You are signing up for potential heartbreak of never knowing the end of this series. It may not happen at this point, but I think that it's worth it. You know what they say, it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. That's how I feel about this book. It's better to have loved and lost. So read it. It's a really good. But yeah, I'm gonna sit on this for a little bit and try to like put my thoughts and feelings into words and then tell you them. Right now I cannot. I cannot even begin to. I was trying and failing. So I'll see you in a second. In the meantime, I'm gonna go get book 2. It has been 2 days. Don't mind the wet hair, I just got out of the shower. I've had time to let my brain stew and fester and all that good stuff. And I have some notes for you. I'm gonna keep it kind of brief because I've already yapped a whole lot about this book. I just have a few things that I want to mention before we move on to picking the next bookish bucket list item. So I think it's pretty clear this book lived up to its reputation. It actually exceeded my expectations. I gave it 6 stars. Now here's some things that I liked about this book. First, the way that it makes me feel. I mentioned it feels kind of like classic fantasy. It's literally like Harry Potter meets the Cosmere, and it's a wonderful combination. We've got dark academia, fantasy, a little love story cooking up. So yeah, kind of the perfect fantasy experience. Another thing I loved about this book is how intentional it was. Every single thing in this book was there for a purpose. Every scene was for a purpose. There was no useless filler. Every conversation mattered, and it was just very intricately designed to bring you to the end. And I love the way that it did it. Another thing I loved is how effortless effortless the world building felt. Like sometimes when you pick up a fantasy book, there's like a section where you're like, oh, I am learning right now. This is a little bit of a struggle. This book never felt like that. The information was given so subtly and gradually that you didn't even notice it was happening until you were in a scene where you needed that information and just whoop, you have it. You just had it, and it was beautiful. Lastly, I'll just say that this is some of the most distinct storytelling I've ever read. There are a few authors that I feel like I could pick out their work in a room full of other authors' work, and this is one of those authors. It's very unique. And I could keep going on, but we would be here for like a full 24 hours, and I'm not going to do that to you. So let's get down to business. We can mark that one off, and these are our remaining items. Remember, I only have 4 months of challenge left, but I have extra tasks just for funsies. And I actually want your help choosing the next one that we do. So if you could type a little comment, vote. Which one do you want? And on top of that, do you have any book suggestions, author suggestions? Throw it on the comments and I will consider it. Thanks, guys. See you in the next one.